Hi, happy Valentine's Day. Believe it or not, these are the items I'm going to use for a party I'm putting on today for my son's 5th grade class. So I'm going to go step by step and show you what I'm going to do. I want you to know that this can be applicable to a St. Patrick's Day party as well. And so that's why you saw in the description I said Valentine's Day / St. Patrick's Day. First of all, almost everything was purchased at the dollar store, so I want to convey that. I just took these doilies. I think I got 20 or 30 for $1 at the dollar store, and I had pulled up on the computer standard sayings that you find on the conversation hearts at Valentine's Day. And what we're going to do today is, in order to partner the students up so that there's no fighting, bickering, or complaining, I'm actually going to cut these, and I'll show you how I do that in a minute, but I'm actually going to cut these, and each child is going to get half of one on their back. And I want to show you something really quickly. I put in the corner the number on each one of these, just so that when we go to make sure whatever parent's in charge of the station or whatnot, in case you're not certain whether they match or not, when the students walk up, you'll know for certain that it is a match. So let me show you. Okay, so here are the hearts. I just cut 2 of them just randomly, and I want them to do 2 at a time so they kind of have the same cut. Again, they're 5th graders. They're savvy young things. But anyway, so if 2 kids come up to you and they have that on one person's back and that on the other, and they said, I think we're a match, when you turn it over, it has the number 1 there as well as the number 1 there. So you'll know that they're a match without having to take too much time out of your day. So that's number 1. So these are going to be mixed up in a bag, and a group of us will tape these onto the kids' backs, and they're going to be standing along the perimeter of the room with their backs to the walls so nobody can do anything. And once we have them all on somebody's back, and again, it's random, we're just taping them on, then the kids will have to talk to one another and figure out who their partner is, who their match is. So then what they're going to do is, once they think they've found their match, I wanted to come up with something that I thought was really clever, that these kids had to work together, but not one person take off without the other. Because sometimes you know what happens when you've got partners, especially if it's a girl and a guy, or they don't like each other, whatever. So next, this is where the toilet paper comes into play. All I'm going to do is give them 3, maybe 4, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to give them 4 sheets of toilet paper. Now, you may be wondering why I would do this. Each of them is going to have to grab an end of this toilet paper. Toilet paper's delicate. It's flimsy, which means these kids are going to have to work together in order not to break their toilet paper. If their toilet paper gets broken, they have to run back into the classroom and get another sheet of toilet paper, and then race back out to their next destination. Destination 3 is right here. I have bubble gum and hearts. Again, dollar store finds. Actually, this one isn't, I lied. These were dollar store finds, and so were these. These I just had. So they're going to come racing up to this table next, and they're assuming that they're a match. The teacher is going to check, or the parent in charge is going to check that their toilet paper is intact. If it is not, back to the classroom they go. If it is, she will then look to see that it is definitely a match on their heart, and they both have the number 5, so we'll definitely know that that's a match. And then they will have to chew a piece of gum as quickly as they can, and all these hearts are going to be splayed out on a table. And what they're going to have to do is chew the gum and get the granules of sugar out of there, and then once they do that, blow a bubble, and then lean down and pick up a heart. I didn't really want to open these, hopefully, and pick up a heart that's laying on the table with their sticky gum. So the fun about this is they have to chew that gum. They have to be able to make a bubble out of it, because if it's still granulated, you won't be able to get this heart. So now they reach down, they pick up a heart, and the partners now run back into the classroom where there's yet another station. Okay. So, partners, toilet paper, check that it's appropriate, chew the gum, pick up the heart with their gum. Now, they're running back to the classroom. Imagine this. They've got bubble gum in their mouth with a heart stuck to it, and they have to have that heart in their mouth stuck to the gum at the next station. Again, this basket is not dollar store, but these little Jim Dandies I did get from the dollar store. They're absolutely darling. I think there were 10 in a pack. So far I think I've spent $4 total. Anyway, now the next station is when they get to the classroom, if the mom or person in charge sees, my daughters are helping me today, they're darling. But anyway, if they see that the heart is still on their gum, the pair is going to be handed this heart or one of these hearts. And when you open it up, we have taken time, and let me just spread this out right here. We have taken time, and this is very rudimentary. I did not put a ton of energy into this. I should have printed it up. I ran out of ink. You do what you got to do. So anyway, if this is a puzzle, and it's going to end up saying stack your, let's see, hearts. That's stuck in there. Hearts. Okay, I don't know what we left off on and if it got all of it, but my camera went dead on me. I had to download some of my footage. Anyway, so we've opened up these hearts, and then it's going to spell out stack your hearts as high as you can. And again, I just wrote these on little scrap pieces of paper and put it in there. You can make that much more fancy, much more pretty. But then when it went back in here, you want it to be, you know, scrambled up. And then that way they have to actually figure out what it says. And I'm going to kind of tell them that each puzzle says something different, so they have to work harder. And then from there, here are the candied hearts, which I will have out in little Dixie cups. Remember, I'm getting ready to head to that party, so I don't have things quite out like I would because I have to be able to transport it. So anyway, they are simply going to have to work together to stack the candy conversation hearts as high as they can. And then once they finish that task, they're going to stay at their desks because I have a game called the Lonely Hearts Express, and I'm going to show you how to play that in just a minute. But before I do that, I made last night, this is the back of it, it's Mrs. Tweed's 2013 5th grade class, and I wrote all the students on the back of it and just did some adhesive hearts, which again I purchased at the dollar store. This poster board I cut in half, and that's from the dollar store. And then I wrote out a Mad Lib, and actually, again, I pulled this up from the internet, and the kids will get to partake while they are eating their treats in this Mad Lib. And so this one was called the Valentine's Day Admirer, and then they will fill it out, raise their hands and fill it out, and then as they're eating, Mrs. Tweed will read the Mad Lib to them. So I'm going to show you with the use of my daughters really quickly how you go ahead and play the Lonely Hearts Express. Okay, my daughters have been kind enough to be willing to show the Lonely Hearts Express. Typically, or for the party this afternoon, we'll have 5 people. The front person is the engine, and then you're going to have the cars, which of course I only have 2 to show you this right now, but it'll line up and there'll be a total of 5 kids, and put your hands on our waist, please. 5 kids holding on such as this, just onto the waist, not onto the belt loops. The goal is for the engine to get across a designated line on the field without a lonely heart, which is a loose person who's going to try and hook on to this train. So mimic, girls, if you can, how you would take off and try to avoid a lonely heart hooking onto you. Go. There you go. Perfect. And you stay. All right, good, good. So now it is key that the caboose, the last person, and again, I realize we only have 2 right here, they move side to side so that the lonely heart, the loose person, can't hook on. The engine must stay powerful. Go. and not let anybody hook on. When you have 5 kids running around like this, doing this, and you've got 5 that are loose trying to hook onto the train, it is hysterical. Okay, girls, I'll let you go for right now, and I'll explain the rest of the game. That is, you're going to have your engine who's working hard up front. You've got your caboose who's going to be swinging back and forth not to be caught onto. But the key to this is there are going to be 5 kids that are the lonely hearts trying to hook onto your caboose. If your caboose and engine work well together, then they should be able to get across a designated line and not be latched onto. However, if a lonely heart latches onto them, once they get across the line, all that happens is the engine becomes a lonely heart, which is kind of a free agent who's roaming around trying to hook onto a train, and then everybody else in that train moves forward. So everybody will get an opportunity to be both an engine, a car, as well as a caboose. And pretty much so everybody should get the opportunity to be a lonely heart who's running and trying to hook onto a train. The game should be tons of fun. I've played it in the past. It's hard to explain it to you without somebody else here and having all 5, but you'll have 5 of them hooking on. So again, remember, this can be played for a St. Patrick's Day game too, and I'll explain that in just a minute. Okay, so she's got her bubble, and she's going to, and this takes some time, that's the fun of this, okay, and then they're going to be over at a table with these hearts, and they're going to have to bend down, pick up a heart. Oh, see, it's a little more challenging than you think, and then they're going to have to go, race over, if they drop it, go back to the table, blow another bubble, bend down. Remember, we want challenge. We want this hard, and they're really going to have to mash their face into it. Yay! And now they have to run into the classroom to the next spot. Perfect. Thank you. Okay. Why isn't this turning? Okay, so here's the toilet paper. If they don't work together, go ahead, girls, run. If they don't work together, their toilet paper will tear. So it's important that they stay working together. So the toilet paper, because you're going to have them run, you know, down, for me, the space we have across the field. So anyway. So as far as crossing this over to St. Patrick's Day, these could be shamrocks that you put, you know, Blarney Stone written on it, or Kiss Me, I'm Irish, or something like that, and you could separate those. As far as the bubblegum heart game, again, those could be little shamrocks. They make all sorts of paper shamrocks, right? And of course I would purchase green gum, a mint gum. This was super simple. A Mad Lib, make it a Valentine or a St. Patrick's Day Mad Lib. I guarantee you you'll be able to find it on the internet. And then as far as these were just a great find over at the dollar store. But who knows what you could find, you know, at the dollar store as far as maybe little mini shamrocks that you can put that into. And then finally, instead of stacking the conversation hearts, they make those great gold chocolate coins, and you could stack those. As far as the game, instead of it being the Lonely Hearts Express, why don't you make it the Leprechaun's Pot of Gold? Again, I came up with that at the top of my head. This can easily be applicable to a St. Patrick's game as well. Thank you so much. I hope you put these to use. I mean, it's toilet paper, doilies. It's all inexpensive. I have planned this party for under $10. I think it's like $7, maybe even less. Happy Valentine's Day. Good luck to you. Please try to use this for St. Patrick's Day as well. Thank you for watching Designs by Michelle. Bye-bye.